Let's say you wanted to be a big YouTuber. You want to make content for a living. You want to make your own hours. You want to make a lot of that fat money. And to an extent, maybe you want to be a small celebrity. Well, you might not want to go viral then. But let's talk about why and what might help you in the long run. Merriam-Webster defines a one-hit wonder as a person, group, or organization that is known for a single notable event or product. I'm sure a lot of you watching right now could name a ton. I think it's pretty commonplace for people to assume, if I get one big video, if I get one big song, that's it. I'm hitting the big leagues. It's Beverly Hills for me. I'm gonna be the shit in the woods that the bear made and nobody heard it. That's me. Shoot for the stars, baby. And that's dead wrong. Fucking brain dead, actually. Through history, over and over and over again, businesses, musicians, YouTubers, TikTokers, Instagram users, myself included, have all failed due to having one-hit wonders. Who here hasn't seen the meme of somebody that I used to know with the guy standing there doing the thing with the patterns and it's like, oh, he dropped one fire song and then disappeared. Where'd he go? Let's talk about Colico. Have you ever heard of them? In 1983, they made the Cabbage Patch Kids. And then in 1988, just 5 years later, they went bankrupt. Hasbro bought the assets. One-hit wonder. Let's talk about memes. Go to Marcus, a super viral video back in 2008 YouTube times. Based on a documentary my friend Max made about Go to Marcus, they fell into obscurity right after that. Let's talk about me. I've made quite a few things to a much smaller scale that went relatively viral, but all of these essentially have the same problem. Audiences love things that are relatable and have a bit of familiarity to them, but not too familiar. They need to be a little bit unique for them to stick. And this is a fine line. Most content creators have trouble balancing uniqueness with familiarity. And I'm going to say these words just a shitload throughout this video. Little to no familiarity doesn't have a pull. You could be the most entertaining funny man of all time. You could make the most entertaining video of all time. But what's going to get someone to watch it? If nobody knows who the fuck you are, and nobody has anything to relate to in it, then why are they going to watch it? How are you going to market your product? On the flip side, too much familiarity creates an issue. Let's say you made a hit product of something already existing. This thing that's existing could be a familiar icon. It could be a genre of music. Whatever. And maybe you're reeling in a huge audience there, you know? The thing is, if people are mostly attracted to what they find familiar, they aren't there for your brand. They aren't there for you. Let's dissect a couple of examples on both sides. Beluga, who gained nearly 10 million fucking subscribers over a couple of years, has a top video with some familiarity right away in the thumbnail. You get a point of view of Discord as if you're looking at it from your computer. It's about forgetting your password. Both of these are relatable things, and there's something unique to it. It's funny. It opens up a question. What happens in this? And it's pretty clear this made extreme growth. It's obviously a comedy channel, making fun of something relatable for Discord users, which is great. And the content backing it delivers. The only issue I see here is that Beluga is probably locked into making this content over and over, which could be fine if that's what Beluga wants. The channel has been made sustainable because it keeps delivering little twists to the same product and does it consistently. Let's look at a not so good example. My video. Right away, you can see things that are familiar about it. It's about Undertale, a very popular game at the time and to this day probably, and it's drawn in the same vein as many Newgrounds artists, notably Egoraptor, which is another thing familiar with audiences. But what makes this video unique? Nothing. Nothing about this is unique. It's a combination of two existing products just smashed together, which, you know, sometimes is fine, but that's what makes it a one-off video. If we watch this all the way through, everything about it is already existing shit. Why would somebody come back and say, I want more? They have more. The problem was, I didn't humanize myself at all. Who the fuck made this video? If I had honed my art style and perhaps my voice a lot more, if I had a really unique animation style, and maybe some more unique jokes instead of stuff that Newgrounds has already done for years and years, maybe that would have resonated with audiences a lot more. It probably would have humanized me a lot more and added more character to the creator behind the product rather than just a copy-paste, carbon copy product of something that exists. And that applies to anything. If you're just doing pop music over and over again with nothing new about it, who fucking cares? Now, this is gonna sound a bit odd, but I think one of the best YouTube case scenarios where we've seen a creator perfectly walk that fine line of uniqueness and familiarity is actually Joji, or as some people might know, Filthy Frank. Filthy Frank began on a channel called Disaster Music, and Disaster Music grew by introducing unique characters like Frank and Pink Guy to familiar topics like school or relationships or prank videos. And yeah, I know this is a different YouTube content, less PC era, but I think it all still applies here. And it did explode with the Harlem Shake, right? Let's not glaze over that as well. Is that a bit of a one-hit wonder? I don't think so. Because here's the thing. The Harlem Shake brought familiarity, short dance trends, Vine was a thing, and uniqueness as well, with strange weirdo characters in pink costume and unitard and strange masks, weirdos to dance trends. And I am sure that many, many people who saw Pink Guy in this big trend and saw him on stage performing this, went back and found the channel with Pink Guy on it. I am positive that helped grow the channel quite a bit. And then Pink Guy evolved and started making music. Again, something familiar, music with something odd, Pink Guy. And to fans who were watching the channel, it was the opposite. And later than that, Joji came to the scene, making music, something already familiar to those who watched Pink Guy music, with now Joji as an artist. So what do we do with this information, right? We know that we need to be familiar and unique. What do we do? Well, if you are a musician, hey, try doing something different with your lyrics. If you're a gaming YouTuber, maybe instead of just playing Baldur's Gate and staring at the screen, try to outdo people. Try to be funnier than the other person. Try to, I don't know, throw something weird that happens on the screen when something happens in the game. I don't know. Add a unique flair to it, right? Make yourself stand out and give yourself a brand. But what do you do if you're already a one-hit wonder? Do you start over? Do you just give up? And I don't, maybe I'm not the proper perfect person to answer this question. But if I had to answer, no. I would say learn from it. What went right? What went wrong? What can I do different next time? And keep trying, which is what I'm doing right now. So wish me luck, and good luck to any people out there who want to make their own content, make their own product, their own music, their own TikTok, whatever it is. Good luck to you. And also, please subscribe. I'm not going to not be a one-hit wonder. I'm always going to be a one-hit wonder if you don't subscribe. So if you subscribe, that would actually really help me out with the cause there, you know? Thank you. Please, thank you, please, and thank you. I hope that was insightful. I feel like it was a lot of the same thing over and over, but I think it was interesting.